I say. Is that the legendary British explorer Warbucks that I see there, Beard? Sure is, friends, but he ain't no affluent explorer no more, but rather a hunter through and through. And ever since Warbucks was taken from us way back in February of 2019, people have been dying for me to somehow make a guide on the character that no longer existed, and I never knew how I would manage it. Well, folks, die no more. As with the help of HZ, and to all of those who ever lent a hand in bringing Warbucks back into the fray, we can have ourselves a little long-lost character guide for Don't Starve Here that never was, simply because Beardo wasn't in the hamlet back then. Oh, and he wasn't even a full-blown YouTuber back then either. But enough faffing about. Let us blunderbuss our way to victory, yes? Well, maybe not quite, as things are not going to be as easy for our explorer turned hunter here at the end of the day. Cause for one thing, he only sits at 120 hunger, which is already below average in and of itself. But coupled with his fine dining mechanics that we'll talk about here soon, things are only going to get more difficult for ya. But you'll also notice that while he does have a nice chunk of sanity to work with, said sanity will be instantly decreasing upon spawn for seemingly no reason. But trust me, there's a flippin' reason. For you see, Warbucks is kind of a rich snob of sorts. But hey, at least his health is normal. But yeah, Warbucks hates being poor so much that with no oinks or any oink equivalent within his inventory, he will lose 6.75 sanity per minute forever. But place at least one oink or the equivalent of it within your pockets, and that drain will drop to half, and will now rest at minus 3.375 per minute, of course. Warbucks will be able to comment whether his wealth grows or diminishes, so pay attention. Cause as you continue to grow said wealth to 20 to 39 oinks or the equivalent to it, the sanity drain will actually completely stop, as you can see. But get one final oink or its worth into your inventory on top of that to reach 40 or more, and suddenly you'll start gaining sanity, but ever so slowly. Like 0.9 per minute slow, for example. But continue to add more and more wealth, and the sanity regen will slowly increase over time, all the way up to its maximum of plus 6.75 per minute, which you will achieve at 300 oinks or its equivalents. So this means that your best bets are to have an inventory slot dedicated to 3 100-piece oinks at nearly all times, or to simply play smarter by using an equivalent to oinks, like doubloons, gold dust, or literal gold nuggets instead. Doubloons and gold dust are worth 4 oinks each, whereas gold nuggets are worth 10, mind you. Make notes, and earn your fortune as soon as possible. However, money will not be the only thing you'll be juggling at the end of the day, as your stomach's not gonna play nice with you either, and it's unfortunately going to take a toll on your mind along the way. In short, Warbucks enjoys fine dining so much and is so used to crockpot foods that he will lose 15 sanity instantly when eating anything that is raw, even the super basic stuff. And to continue that, he will even lose sanity for eating cooked and dried foods. However, the drain will be half to 7.5 per munch, so that's fine. And that said, big jerky can somewhat counter it, so make note there. But lastly, he will lose an additional 5 sanity per non-crockpot meal if it's spoiling, and 10 sanity if it's really bad. So picky eater indeed. Good luck. But let us return to his fortune nonsense again, as he actually has a thing for using and losing golden tools. For you see, Warbucks benefits from the fact that all golden tools will now have their durabilities increased by 25% overall. Therefore, a luxury axe will now boast 500 uses over its original 400. A luxury machete will now boast 500 uses in total as well while in Warbucks' hands. And lastly, an opulent pickaxe will offer us 165 uses over its typical 132. Now, that's all great sounding, and it will actually help you tremendously. But be careful when it comes to actually wearing them out, as Warbucks will lose 20 sanity instantly whenever a gold tool breaks, and that's not great. Perhaps he should just stick to hunting at the end of the day. Because let me tell you folks, he is darn good at it. Being the avid hunter that he is, he knows how to process game. And for darn near every mob that drops meat guaranteed in this game, Warbucks will have a 25% chance to receive an additional slice of meat. Be it simple morsels here, to bigger meat dropped by bigger and badder mobs, including bosses I believe, to even monster meats. Warbucks will be eating good in the neighborhood if you know what I mean. Well, as long as he's got a crockpot around, that is. But have fun. But if you don't, Warbucks still will, if you know what I mean. And if you don't, listen up. Warbucks enjoys murdering stuff so much that he will gain sanity for doing so, equivalent to 5% of the maximum health of whatever he just happened to kill. Meaning that the higher the health pool, the more sanity he will gain per kill, obviously. Now, this will not work on glowflies, butterflies, clockworks, ghosts, tentacles even, nightmares, hamlet pigs, and lurk plants, mind you. But it will still work on the biggest bads around, and killing them will actually grant even more bonus sanity in general. So blast away. But blast away with what, you ask? Well, Warbucks' blunderbuss, of course. While the weapon is indeed in Hamlet proper available to anybody, Warbucks will spawn into the game with one, alongside a pile of 5 gunpowder. And yes, they do go together like peas and carrots at the end of the day. A blunderbuss must be loaded with gunpowder and gunpowder alone in order to be fired. And it is essentially just a weapon that makes gunpowder ranged, if you know what I mean. Yup, that's it. 200 damage at range with a gunpowder reload. Enjoy it. And I think you will, as we can add to the fun by knowing that Warbucks can fire the blunderbuss 33% further than every other character in the game, making sure that he keeps his distance to keep us safe. Now it ain't much and it might not even look like it either, but trust me, you will feel the difference once you give it a go yourself. But the cherry on top still will be Warbucks' immediate access to even more gunpowder without any crafting machine needed. But hold up, Beard. While that is sounding good, it still means that we need to wait for eggs to rot. So what's so great about it? It's the fact that Warbucks also has immediate access to a very special refinement craft for rotten eggs. For the cost of 3 eggs and 1 rot, we ourselves can create 3 rotten eggs immediately per craft to help with our gunpowder / blunderbuss needs. So get to it. But as we look to wrap up for the day, let us discuss all the other crafts available to us from the get-go, many of which are hunting related. Warbucks can make a spear, boomerang, and even a tooth trap straight away. Rope and board refinements are also available to him right off spawn, as you can see. A bird trap and or tent can be made as soon as possible if you wish. And lastly, both the pith hat and bush hat will be available right from spawn. Good stuff. But one last send-off. Warbucks' voice. Give it a listen. And there you have it, everyone. Warbucks, the Affluent Hunter by HZ for Don't Starve and all of its DLCs, mind you. New mechanics, tweaks on some of the older ones, and a whole new title that fits it all very nicely, I'd say. Well done. I really did enjoy my time with him, cause I missed my time to do it a long time ago. Heck, I'm even thinking that a Warbucks playthrough could even be in the future, folks. But let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Well wishes to all. I say, and I'll see ya in the next one. Bye-bye.